everyone, it's Sarah with the Hobby Lobby Creative Studio. If you're new to crochet, you'll definitely want to stick around for this video. I'll be breaking down all the information that you'll typically see when looking at your very first crochet pattern and how to use it. So don't go anywhere. If you're looking at a crochet pattern for the first time, it can look a little intimidating, but we're going to break down the sections that you'll typically see on a crochet pattern in order for you to understand what you're even looking at. So the first thing that you might see on a crochet pattern is a skill level. These can range from easy to intermediate to advanced and even expert. So if you're just starting, you definitely want to pick out something at an easy skill level. And usually under skill level, you'll find the supplies you need to finish your project. So you'll have a particular yarn that you need and the amount of yarn, and then you'll also see what size crochet hook you need. You'll also find here any additional items that you would need, such as a tapestry needle, for example. And then next, usually under supplies, you'll see your gauge information. Sometimes a gauge is included on the pattern and sometimes it's not. It just depends on whoever wrote the pattern if they've decided to include that gauge information. If you're wondering what a gauge even is, refer to our How to Read a Yarn Label video, and we go into gauges in depth and how to even make a gauge and what they're used for. Under your gauge, you'll see the measurements of your completed project. So this is a good way to tell if you're on the right track, if you're kind of following along with those required measurements of your project. Next, you'll see a list of abbreviations. The first one is CH. CH stands for chain. Next one is ST. ST stands for stitch. The next one we'll talk about is SL and then ST. That stands for slip stitch. After that we have SC, which is single crochet, and then we have HDC, half double crochet, and then we have DC, double crochet, and also TC, treble crochet. Next you might see BL or BLO, which means back loop only, and then FL or FLO, which means front loop only. And then you might see REP, which just means to repeat. So now let's talk about how we use those abbreviations. You'll notice that when you look at your lines of pattern, it can look like a jumbled mess if you're just looking at one for the first time. The reason that we use these abbreviations and don't spell out the entire word is because if the writer did the entire word for their pattern, the pattern would be really long. So they use abbreviations to make it shorter in length. So if you're a beginner, what I would recommend doing is actually going through your pattern row by row, looking at the abbreviation and looking at the glossary for your abbreviation and actually writing out the full word. And just practice saying the sentences all the way through using that full word and then start to associate the word with the abbreviation. And then before you know it, you'll start reading through abbreviations of patterns just like that, and it'll be just like second nature. Now that you know what abbreviations are used for and how they're used, let's do an example. Here's an example of a row on a pattern that you might see. So they want us to CH2, turn our work, and HDC across. Let's refer back to our abbreviations and spell that out. So CH is chain, then turn our work. HDC is half double crochet across. So we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and half double crochet across. And then you might see a section called finishing. Finishing contains information that you'll need to do at the very end of your project. So it might suggest where to put a button or a pin, or where to add a whip stitch, or even how to join your seams together. So anything in the finishing section will just give your project that extra polish and that extra finished look. So I hope you learned a lot of valuable information today and that you don't look at crochet patterns and be so intimidated by them now. And I hope you really get out there and practice learning those abbreviations and practice reading your patterns. Good luck with your projects, everybody. We'll see you next time.